and welcome to this week's LOLC Securities Weekly Market Roundup. I am Megara Vidullanka.
And I am Tharadu Amarasekara. This is the sound of profitability.
Central bank data indicates that the new active credit cards in Sri Lanka increased by 11,881 users in March this year, amid the country's road for economic recovery and falling interest rates.
The number of active credit cards recorded were 2,038,682 by end March compared to 2,026,871 by end February, showing an increase of 0.6% in March. The active credit cards have risen by 1.5% in the first 3 months of this year, and the active credit cards in Sri Lanka rose by 4.8% or 91,371 in 2024, with the island nation's economic recovery and strong promotions for credit cards amid falling interest rates.
News from the tourism sector. Foreign exchange revenue from the sector rose by 13.7% year-on-year to $256.7 million. The revenue in April last year was $225.7 million. The new government has aimed an ambitious $5 billion revenue from tourism for this year. The country has received $1.38 billion of earnings from tourism in the first 4 months of the year, with a 10.2% rise year-on-year. The nation witnessed a $3.17 billion revenue in 2024, with a 53.2% jump compared to the $2.07 billion in the previous year.
Sri Lanka's official worker remittances grew by 18.8% in April 2025 from a year ago to $646.1 million.
March and December are usually peak remittance months for Sri Lanka. Over the past year, remittances have grown steadily around 20% a year. Up to April 2025, Sri Lanka has earned $2.46 billion from remittances, which was up by 18.3% from $2,079 million last year. Sri Lanka's worker remittances have risen amid stronger out-migration after the last currency crisis, which was triggered by central bank rate cuts to target high inflation and growth from inflationary rate cuts.
And now it's time for the corporate highlights. Fitch Ratings has assigned an A+ rating for the upcoming Sukuk issuance of 500 million rupees of Vidullanka, the renewable power producer. The rating of the proposed Sukuk issuance is at the same level as Vidullanka's national long-term rating, as it will represent the issuer's senior secured obligation. The Sukuk is secured with assets of a specific project as well as cash held in a designated account.
Sri Lanka's Hatton National Bank, which also has an insurance unit, said its profit for the March 2025 quarter rose by 48% to 10.6 billion rupees compared to a year ago. This was a result of net interest income growth, fees, and a provision reversal.
The group reported earnings of 18.71 rupees per share for the quarter. At bank level, HNB's interest income fell by 14% to 51.15 billion rupees. Interest expenses fell at a faster 27% to 27.8 billion rupees, and net interest income grew by 8% to 23.6 billion rupees. Loans and advances grew by 1% to 1,078 billion rupees by March 2025, which was from 1,063 billion rupees in December. Loans loss provisions were a reversal of 379 million rupees. Stage 3 loan ratio was down to 1.82% from 1.88%. And lastly, deposits grew to 1,723 billion rupees from 1,715 billion rupees.
Time for the ESG update with Tharindu.
Sri Lanka's Alliance Finance Company is planning to raise 2 billion rupees via a social bond issue, according to the company sources. The finance company said it will issue up to 20 million listed, rated, unsecured, redeemable senior social bonds with a total value of 2 billion rupees. A social bond is a type of financial instrument, specifically a debt instrument or bond, issued to finance projects that have a direct and measurable positive social impact. The proposed issue is subjected to obtaining all necessary approvals.
Here's the international highlight of the week.
US stocks surged on Monday after announcements by top trade officials of US about de-escalation of tensions between US and China. Many economists say that this also saved the US economy from a recession. The Dow closed higher by 1,161 points or 2.81%, and the broader S&P 500 gained 3.26%, and the tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite surged 4.35%. The three major indexes each posted their biggest single-day gains in over 1 month. US stocks last Monday firmly erased all their losses since the April 2nd Liberation Day trade announcement, which placed a 10% tariff on practically all goods coming into the United States. And that's it for this week's LOLC Securities Weekly Market Roundup. No matter what investment decision you make it with the right intel. We will see you in a brand new week.